Hello everyone, Steven Harold here, and welcome to the channel discussing horror movies for you guys in a very blunt way. In this video, I'm finally going to be giving you guys my review for Jaws, which was released on June 20th, 1975, celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and was directed by one Steven Spielberg. Jaws is a film that needs no introduction. It is widely regarded as one of the most successful horror movies of all time. It's always in people's top 10s. On a budget of $9 million, it made $477 million. It's very successful. It's very influential in the horror genre and kicked off the killer shark genre in horror. And Jaws is just, for the last 50 years, been referenced as one of the best horror movies of all time. Now, of course, to finish the summer off, I really wanted to make sure I watched Jaws for the first time, but I also wanted to make sure I watched the other films as well, because it's known fact that I've never seen Jaws in its entirety, especially its sequels. So it's fitting to end the summer. I'm going to not only review Jaws for its 50th anniversary, but I'm also going to review its 3 sequels that came after. And to get more into the spirit of Jaws, I think it's about time I actually found myself a shirt for the special occasion. I know Chris is just looking at this video right now and saying, "Ah, he got himself a shirt finally." Anywho, let's take a look and review Jaws. For the story of this film, it is very bare basic. A killer great white shark threatens the town of Amity Island before the festivities of July 4th, and Sheriff Brody and a boatload of other people go out to set sail to kill this shark once and for all before it kills anyone else. Now, for the story of this film, it is very much a B movie. Like, the concept, it's a killer shark that haunts a town and kills people. This is a B movie. This is the quintessential B movie that was treated as an A movie that got this big budget that went into theaters and essentially became a success story. And the story itself for that made sense for it. Now, there's been a lot of countless shark movies, which I'm going to get to later on in this video, that have tried to up the ante when it comes to Jaws, but Jaws was the first to do it, and Jaws did it the best. And with the story like Jaws, it only makes sense that it was going to become successful. The other successful thing about this film was its characters. Of course, we are introduced to Sheriff Brody, played by Roy Scheider in this film, and he does a fantastic job in this film. He is playing a father, a husband, and the new sheriff in town, right? And he has to basically find out what to do when it comes to this killer shark that's been killing people in the water. So closing down the beach before the 4th of July sounds like a great idea, but not to the townsfolk who know that this town is a summer money-drawing town. So closing the beach on 4th of July is not an easy thing to do, but Roy Scheider's character of Brody does his best in this film, and it shines. We also get introduced to Richard Dreyfuss's Hopper in this film, who is an expert in sharks and is really hesitant on trying to find this shark and get rid of it once and for all, because killer great white sharks who eat people are a very dangerous thing, especially with the fact that there are multiple breeds of sharks that are different in sizes. And Richard Dreyfuss's character does a phenomenal job playing a guy who, he knows his shit, but also he has the arrogance to back it up. But it's not enough to back it up when it comes to a guy like Quint, played by Robert Shaw. And he is the fisherman who has all this expert. I mean, like, his introduction to the film itself, just scratching that chalkboard, and, you know, he's just saying, "I'll get you the head, the tail, the whole damn thing." Like, he's seen some shit. And these 3 characters are set in motion to go hunt down to the shark, where by the time it gets to the scene where they set sail, The movie picks up very well with its characters, especially with these three, and they do phenomenal in this film. Now, the antagonist of this film is a killer shark, which Steven Spielberg nicknamed Bruce because it was named after his lawyer. And no, not because he was a very kind lawyer to him, it's because Bruce was a real pain in the ass. Now, of course, everyone knows the stories, the mythical stories of how this shark kept malfunctioning, kept breaking down, just never wanted to work. But I feel like when there are certain scenes that were just cut out of the movie because of technical issues with this shark, it made it a lot better because of the fact that the shark itself, the less you see of it, the better it became. Now, when you finally see the shark for the very first time, it becomes something. Now, the shark, needless to say, does look very fake in this film. But for the scenes that we do get to see of the shark, at least hold up. It's a killer shark. It's not like Michael Myers. It's not like Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger or Chucky or anything. It's a killer shark. So when we are introduced to that shark, finally, and see it in its full glory, it's a sight to see. This film is very memorable with its certain scenes. And I know a lot of people saw the opening scene, right? That was the first clear indication that gave a lot of people this fear of going into the water. This was an impactful film for some people when they had seen it. Like, they were refusing to go to a beach and go into the water in fear of a shark coming to get them because of this film. The many countless scenes that this film has produced and has shown us, I mean, like, there's so many, especially when it gets to our three main characters on the boat. Of course, this classic scene where you see Brody finally see the shark for the very first time. His initial reaction is in shock and awe, and then backing up to let Quentin know,
"You're gonna need a bigger boat."
One of the most quotable lines in the film, and that delivery, it's iconic. And this film has so many more iconic lines. I mean, like, "Smile, you son of a," and then kills the shark and everything. The film also is very iconic with its score, you know, the dun 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 dun. But that, I will say, it ain't no Halloween. It's not. It's not Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not Child's Play. It's not like any other great horror soundtracks, not one of the great horror themes. But it's instantly recognizable. And you need it to be instantly recognizable. And this film has a lot of memorable moments and a lot of memorable things going for it. When it comes to the gore and the kills of this film, the film delivers in the way it should back in 1975. You have that opening kill where you see that girl get dragged around the ocean and then gets pulled under, and it's just like, yep, here we go. We're at a start. Then you see the boy get killed on the beach. You see the jump scare with the guy in the boat underwater, and even Quint's death, which is probably the best death in the whole entire movie, where he just slides down the sinking boat and just falls into Bruce's mouth and just starts getting chewed up. It's a very memorable death scene to a very memorable character. So the gore and the kills in this film do deliver on a high scale. When it comes to this film, I understand why a lot of people absolutely love this film. They highly recommend it to a lot of other people, and they say it's in their top 10. Here's the thing about me, though. As good as this movie is, I was saying for years and years and years, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, this is blasphemy, that Jaws is overrated. I felt for the longest time that Jaws was overrated. Why did I feel that way? It's because it gave birth to a lot of shark movies, killer shark movies, which also in turn gave birth to a lot of very shitty shark films, because everyone wanted to capture that success of Jaws and did it badly. And then you got films like Sharknado, for fuck's sakes, and it's 7, 8, 9, 10 fucking sequels. But other than that, finally actually watching Jaws for the very first time, full out, full on, I can safely say that back in 1975, I see why this film was scary. I see why this film actually resonated with a lot of people, and why it's still highly regarded to some as one of the best films of all time. To me, however, Jaws is still overrated. It's still a film that, you know, it's like, as good as it is, it wouldn't even crack my top 10. And don't get me wrong, this film is a good film. It really is. It's just, it gets boring after a while. And then finally, when our three main characters go out to set sail and find the shark and kill it, that's when the movie picks up for me. I'm like, okay, now we finally get interested. That whole monologue that Quint talks about with his past after they were showing off their scars, and then just they're drunk singing along, right? Like, that's when it's like the characters really developed very well, and that's when the movie finally picked up for me. But other than that, the movie to me is still very much overrated. It's not widely regarded for myself as one of the best horror films of all time. I've seen better horror films. But being a pioneer in the horror genre, I do have to give it its respects. I do have to give props to Jaws in laying a foundation for what made horror films popular for many people for the last 50 years. So, for my rating, I'm going to give Jaws from 1975 an 8.5 out of 10. So tell me, guys, what are your thoughts on Jaws? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure, if you like this video, to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to hit the bell notifications so you can get notified about all the other videos coming out on the channel. Like I said, I'm going to be finishing off the summer by reviewing all the Jaws films, and hopefully y'all enjoy those reviews, because I know for a fact I've been already prepped for quite some time that the first film is the best film, and the rest aren't so great. It gets worse. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyways, guys, that's it for me. This is Steven Harold. I will talk to you guys later. And remember to stay spooky and, just stay out of the water.